welcome to the Advancing the Kingdom podcast. We're streaming live on all social media platforms and podcast streaming channels. Get ready for a revelatory teaching from our apostle, Matthew Tillery.
Well, greetings. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Advancing the Kingdom podcast. I am your host, Matt Tillery. What an awesome day. Listen, it's a little different today because I'm coming on at 4 p.m. versus 7 p.m. But you know what? I think I like 4 p.m. better. So I'm really excited about that. And listen, I'm really excited about my guest tonight. She has cultivated her craft as an editor, camera operator for music videos, which actually did a music video for us, Advancing the Kingdom. So, and she certainly has evolved into directing and producing. She's also an artist. She has been nominated for the NAACP Image Award twice, which is amazing. So listen, let's go ahead and welcome to the podcast tonight none other than Miss Tailiah Breon. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk today.
I really appreciate you coming on. Before we do anything, before we get into a real conversation tonight, I guess we're already in the conversation. So go ahead and tell us about Tailiah. Who is Tailiah?
I am a child seeking to please God more and more, learn his ways, learn my purpose, learn how I can be of use in this world to just really get to know him in the depths of him better. First and foremost, everything else after that is just an expression of him. So I'm an artist. I write, I produce films, I direct films. I came up, like you were saying, first with being an editor, a photographer, retoucher, and that kind of gradually expanded into storytelling from music to film. That's kind of my medium and my lane. And so recently started getting into music more, songwriting and singing as well. So that's me in totality. I'm a sister, a friend, a daughter, a niece, a cousin, just living life and trying to maximize my time here.
That's powerful, trying to maximize my time here. Well, I just want to say also that you are a terrific person. So I really appreciate you and the things that you are doing.
Thank you.
So you're part of some amazing Black women directors that is kind of redefining what storytelling looks like. Mm-hmm. How special is that to you? Because I've seen all of your movies, and all the ones that I've seen, they are really good and great, and it has a really great storytelling in it. How important, when you do a movie, how important is that to you?
Thank you. Man, doing a movie is very important to me. I think it's spiritual, honestly. I feel like I see God in everything,
Wow.
So for me, doing movies is an extension of that. It's being trusted to show a level of empathy, to put myself in the shoes of people who walk, I don't walk. I say movies are special because it's the closest we'll ever get to getting a lifetime lesson in literally 90 minutes. Like you can't gain that level of growth, that level of lesson without living it and walking it outside of filmmaking, because it allows you to hone in and for a short while live the life of someone else and see things from another perspective and get in the shoes of what somebody else had to walk. But you get to walk away leaving a movie theater, leaving watching Netflix, leaving, looking at streaming on your phone, to basically benefit with the lessons that character had to live to learn in a short period of time. So that's for me why storytelling is so important, and I think it's spiritual, and I just think it's special.
Wow.
The art of storytelling. Yeah,
that's powerful. When you did the music video for us, Advancing the Kingdom, the song, I kind of told you what was on my heart, and mm-hmm. I didn't realize that you had all that other stuff that you had put together, because you caught the vision, you saw it, and you started to just kind of bringing that thing to pass. So that was really awesome in itself.
Yeah.
So look, you're young, you're full of wisdom, and I oftentimes, I said, "Wow, Tailiah, that young lady has a lot of wisdom." Uh, did that wisdom that you have, and that's on display when I have a conversation with you, because I have
Yeah.
to take my thinking to another level when I talk to you. Uh, what did that wisdom come from? A plethora of people, or is there a certain person, or where did it come from? But you know
Yeah.
it, we know it came from God, but I'm sure there are other importations that were made in your life as well.
Yeah. Whew, to be honest, I feel like, and thank you for saying that. To be transparent, like wisdom has been a top prayer of mine. Like out of all the things that I come to God about, wisdom is probably one of the most repeated things that I've asked for just over the course of my life. And for me, wisdom has come from an assortment of people, and it's just come from living life. It literally has come from observing life and
Wow.
intentionally wanting life to teach me something, because I believe that the same wisdom is available to everyone, and it comes through life, but you have to want it, and I that's just something that I wanted. So when I live life, when I observe other people living their life, I'm always looking for, what can I gain from it, what can I extract from it, how can I grow from it. And obviously people make up your life experience. So
Right.
I just remember being little, even now, I really enjoy conversations, even if it's not conversations that I'm in, but to hear them, to hear information, being put out, and to take that and assess it and digest it and sit with it and bring it to God, and just critical thinking. Like, what do I think about what I'm hearing, what's being said? So and you know what? Also, it's come from a lot of people, but it's more so from watching than
Right.
hearing. Like, it's
Wow.
not necessarily when grandma was had all the grandchildren around her and she intentionally sat and said, "Let me tell you this." It's watching grandma
Wow.
and what that says. Is watching my parents and what watching them is telling me. Is watching your aunts, your uncles, teachers that taught you, along with what they're actually saying to you. So for me, it's just been a combination of all those things, and I think intentionally seeking after it.
Well, well, I can certainly tell when I have a conversation with you that you definitely seek the Lord for the wisdom, because what you are displaying, it just it's really uncommon for your age. So when I have a conversation with you, it's like I'm talking to a 60, a 50 or 60-year old, right? In terms of the wisdom that's being deposited. So that's, I really appreciate that. You have been doing some amazing things. Do you think, in terms of your successes, and do you think that some of your failures, uh, was the amazing things that you're doing, and the things that you're seeing happen and manifest in your life now? Uh, do you think that some of the failures that you had, that those failures were a bridge, to help develop your confidence?
Absolutely. Every single one. Every failure, every failure served me. There
Wow.
was not
Can you
no,
say
there
that
was
one
not a
more time
time.
for those that's way
Every
in the back?
literally every failure has served me.
Wow.
Therefore it's not a failure. But every single one served its purpose. And so in hindsight, you fail enough, you start to realize that when the next perceived failure comes, then it can't be a failure. It's something is being served here that I'm going to need on the other side of it. So you just get better at learning how to embrace that. And then that becomes confidence. That gets called confidence. Like, sometimes I realize you hear the right things, but you still got to live it.
Wow.
You still have to exercise it. And when you start exercising what you try to learn in your head, that's the missing piece to true understanding, which becomes wisdom, right?
Right.
Like, I
Right.
think I even
Right.
seen you post something one day on Facebook about knowledge is knowledge, right?
Right.
Experience is the gap that makes it graduate to wisdom.
Right.
And
Right.
so, like, for me, the failure was the experience I needed to turn knowledge to wisdom.
Wow. Wow.
Because otherwise, I'm understanding what's being said logically, but I'm not understanding it spiritually. I'm not understanding it on a soul level.
Right.
I can't grasp that but so far. So it puts you in the mode of forcing to implement the right way and the right answer, but you don't believe the right way,
Right.
and for me that only came through failure. It came through trying things and being told, okay, they told me if I believe in myself, I'll be rewarded. If I believe in God, I'll be rewarded. And right now, I'm trying to convince myself that I believe, but I'm not doing the work to exercise belief and being patient that that's an ongoing journey. So I got to take one step to get to the next step to learn that my belief can grow. And so that those steps for me came through failure. Me trying
Right.
to believe, me trying to do anything and it didn't go the way I thought, trying to be seen and I wasn't seen, trying to get a job and I didn't get that job,
Right.
trying to build relationships and those relationships didn't last. But whoo, boy,
Yeah.
understanding comes on the other side.
I
So
know that's right.
so yeah, they have served me, everyone.
Wow. So what would you say tonight to those persons? I would say young, but since you have so much wisdom, you have that, which is amazing, right? Because you have the ability to speak to me, and I'm 68, right? So,
Man,
I mean that's I think that's a gift, right? You just don't see that a lot, but
yeah.
there are some things that you say that wow, like my baby starts to kicking on
Yeah.
the inside.
that
So
that means a lot coming from you.
yeah, yeah. So what would you say tonight to the person or persons that saying, you know what, I tried to do this, but I failed in it, and and I'm really discouraged. I don't know whether I want to try it all over again. What would you say to
Yeah.
that person tonight?
Yeah. Whew. I would say that you are in the perfect position.
Wow.
You have to reposition your mindset, but know that you are in a perfect position. And I say that because when you try to do everything in and of your own efforts and understanding, that was never the design. That was never the message. That was never the intention from the man, from God who created you. And so sometimes you got to do everything your way and lose everything and experience what feels like I have no control anymore. I'm so lost. I feel like I'm failing. But if you fall into God and lean on his perspective in that moment, it really should free you
Wow.
because now you have nothing to live up to. You have nothing to prove anymore. You have nothing to uphold and maintain. Everything before failure comes from a plan. It
Wow.
came from you setting intention. It came from you seeking something. And so, really, I would challenge that what we're most afraid of, if you face it and accept it, that's the moment of being liberated because you've tried, you've exhausted everything within your ability that you can. And so now you still have breath in your body, you still have way more life to live. So where do you go from here? And then you learn, well, God has plans that all you have to do is trust him. You don't
Right.
have to do anything. So all the sweating and bleeding and like brain power and exhaustion that we put ourselves through for the same thing, you find out I can still get it and preserve me in the process. I can still have it and that's God's battle. I can just float, you know. And so that changed everything for me. So really your failure and feeling like you've hit rock bottom is a celebratory moment. And I
Wow.
get it's painful. It's painful to the human mind. It's
Wow.
painful. And two things can be true. You can go through that. But after you go through that, just really sit and think about, man, this is liberating because now I don't have that pressure on me anymore to please me, to make me proud, to prove to myself, to prove to anyone else. Like it's a freeing space to be in. And I had to learn how to relinquish that, where it's just like, you know what? I'm tired.
Right.
Why?
Right.
Why do this? Why do I even have to do this? Like, I'm never going to be good enough.
Right.
But hear that differently. You never were supposed to be good enough. You never had to be because he's good enough.
Wow.
So if
Wow.
I rest in him, what's my motivation? My whole motivation changed from having to do anything to prove anything, and it went to just being.
Right. Wow.
So, yeah.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Wow. That's one of those wow conversations there. Listen, I know you have done a plethora of movies. You've directed many movies. Is there one specific movie that once you've done and gone through all that stuff and you say, you just get by yourself, you get alone, and you just say, wow.
Mm, mm,
Or
man.
maybe it was all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a hard but easy answer. To be honest, it's not the movie itself that has made me feel that way. It's the experiences making it.
Wow.
It's more so the story behind making the story on television.
The story behind the story.
Yes, like the movie is the movie, and I love them all. I think as a creative, you always, each new project, you just want to be better. You learn and you want to see your growth. So in that regard, it's kind of like your latest one. You always say is the best one because you want to grow. But I think on just a purpose level, it's never in the movie itself. It's the story behind it. It's me knowing what I went through to get that job, or when I was working through that job, the obstacles I had to face that no one knows. They just see the final product,
Right, right,
and when I sit
right,
back and reflect on those stories, that for me is what's like, wow, because I know what it took to create this and then to see what it became. That is my wow factor. So I have one of those for every movie. Like one movie taught me this, another movie taught me that. I could have one for every single one.
right. Yeah, I probably already know the answer to this question, but you're an amazing person. But how important is the support system that you have, right, with family?
Hmm.
I mean, I know that's very important to you,
Yeah.
particularly when you're having those down moments. You can call your dad, your mom, or whoever, and kind of lift you up. How important is that to you? And the reason why I asked that question because so many folk don't have that.
Yeah. No, it's vital.
Yeah.
It is vital. It is so needed. And for me personally, I live in Atlanta too, and most of my family's in North Carolina. So even when you talk about distance and having to work amongst friends and families that are adopted, from location, you need a place to be grounded and centered.
Right.
You need people who see you beyond what you do for a living. You need people who knew you before who you're becoming now.
Right.
And so for me, those phone calls, those talks, just to vent, just to get it out is important because it's free of politics.
Right. Right.
Because even for me in building connections outside of long-term family, there are people that I genuinely know love me and care for me, but it's still you meeting who I am now.
Right. Right.
So one can say, I don't know if you care the same if I didn't do what I do.
Right.
I don't
Right.
know if you care the same if I wasn't who I was right now. I
Right.
didn't,
Right.
I wasn't a friend that could give advice once upon a time like I can give you now.
Right.
So family is so important to me for those reasons that sometimes in the industry where it just feels like you're disposable, you know, they're gonna always love you, see you, care for you, and support you no matter what the changing tide is in your life.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So look, your storytelling brings a progressive perspective to humanity and black culture. So let's talk about that for a moment. How important
Mm.
is that to you? To
Yeah.
Yeah, how important is that to you?
So important. Again, I feel like storytelling is the closest we're ever going to get to living multiple lifetimes as one person. And I think storytelling is literally it's mirroring life. Art imitates life. So it's important to be responsible in showing a variety of the truth, of perspectives that exist, of not showing black people one way, not showing people who aren't black one way, just
Right,
not showing life,
right,
even stories and beliefs that aren't my own.
right, right,
They still make up the world we live in.
right,
And so I think it's important to just have that level of diversity because it's honest.
right,
It's honest and it's not biased.
right,
And
right,
I don't have to agree necessarily with the stories or the characters that I do know exist in real life to represent it, and to honor it. So I think that's important. Obviously, I think black culture is important for storytelling too, because again, we definitely know for us, we just need to be seen in more lights than we have been for a long time. There's been a lot of entertainment and exploitation off the backs of showing black people as, whatever the case may be, in poverty, down and out, on drugs, a stigma. And it's like, while that exists, there's so many other black people who have these beliefs, who are prosperous, who live according to a different moral belief, who are not down and out, who come with a level of education and intelligence. And two things can be true.
right,
So
right.
for that reason, I think it's been important for me to just be able to tell stories that expound more on the diverse culture of us and not always seeing us in this one way.
Wow, powerful. We definitely can feel your heartbeat through your movies. We can feel the intensity, and oftentimes, it's like it becomes very relevant to us, right? So just appreciate that as well. So let's talk about Tailiah's music. What's going on with your music? I didn't know you could clone like that.
New things under the horizon.
Look, my
I
favorite
think,
song is Goodbye.
oh, thank you.
Yeah, I
Thank
really
you.
love
Thank
that
you.
song because for me that's prophetic.
Yeah.
But it's really powerful song. Talk
Yeah.
to us about your music.
Thank you. That was a therapeutic one for me too. But you know what? With all that's being said, like this music thing was not in the plans. It wasn't something that I saw in my future. It just happened. When I tell people that, they like, stop bluffing. But I'm serious. So, um, this actually came to me last year. I was in a place of stillness. I had finished a project and I was just like, I had this extreme feeling that I wanted to write a song. Came out of the blue,
Wow.
knew without a shadow of a doubt that was God, right? I didn't want to go outside and sit in the sun. I didn't want to watch TV. It was an overwhelming, very clear sense of I want to write. So I went in my bedroom. I went on YouTube. I found some beats and I just played certain beats that I kind of like. And I just sat in the quiet and songs just start flowing out of me. And I would voice record on my phone and I would just sing to them,
Wow.
sing whatever came. It didn't always make the most sense, but I had pieces of a story. I had pieces of a bar or a phrase. And then I'd go back and then I'd write that out. And I hit up a friend who has a music background. I said, hey, I don't know how this works, but I have some songs that I want to record. How do I go about this? And so he connected me with a sound engineer, got me hooked up with a studio. And I was like meeting up for like, it was 10 days in total, but it was over a span of, I think, 2 weeks where I was going to the studio, just singing a song, pumping them out. And it just lit something up in me. Like it
Wow.
was a form of expression that I realized I had been needing, and music was the outlet to allow me to do it. I had a lot to say that I didn't even know I had to say.
Wow.
So I just went in studio and I was really just going to make it a YouTube video. I was going to get like a live band and just sit at a mic and sing all of them. That was going to be the end of it. And I went in the studio, brought a couple close friends for them to hear all the tracks. And one of the guys who helped me connect with a studio, he does music. He works in like A&R music coordinating. And he was like, listen, I know you did this just as a form of leisure, but you trusted me. I need you to trust. I trusted you. I need you to trust me now. And he was
Wow.
like, what you just put together is so much bigger than that. And you need to give this your all and run with it. He was like, you need to get music videos for this. You need to let this roll out like official music artists do. I didn't see myself as a music artist. I
Right.
didn't they was like, you gotta claim it. And it spoke to me. It said something to me. And I'm like, okay, God, I don't know where all this leads. I'm trusting you. I just want to have fun with it. I just want to express myself. But I'm seeing him talk to me through this process. I'm seeing how he's using music to help me be more comfortable in my skin, how to be more authentic with myself, and how to go center stage, stop
Right.
hiding.
Right.
That's what I feel like this music was about. It was about stop hiding. And you have a voice and you have a lot to say, so I need you to start saying it. And I was like, whoa, okay, well, let's do it. So that's
Let's.
kind of how the music thing started. And it's been fun. I feel like I've been able to put out the music I've missed hearing that I haven't in a long time. I
Right.
think that it's either you do secular music and it's always focused on the things we keep hearing about something sexual or drugs and alcohol and party and being
Right.
in a club and being egotistical and a girl who's independent and I don't need no men because men are trash and then the men talking about the girls crazy. Or you got to go polar opposite and do worship music. And there's nothing wrong with worship music, but there is a space I was seeking with music that
Right.
was like, I need something that reverences God
Right.
and that's still honest about the journey of what people go through and finding God through it.
Right.
I was suffocating. I'm like, I don't want
Wow.
to hear that, but I'm it's not quite this over here either. And so that's kind of the space I feel I've been in the middle of with music.
Wow. A closed vision will cause you to suffocate. And
Yeah.
those things that God has placed on the inside of you, I just believe that we're in certainly that time where all of the gifts and talents that He's placed inside of us, that He wants it to come out now.
Mhm.
And I'm grateful that you just move with what was burdening you down. You begin to
Yeah.
move with it because many people have been blessed and will continue to be blessed because you have so much more on the inside of you that has not come out yet. But those things that God has placed in you, you're going to see a rapid increase and a rapid manifestation of those hidden gems
Mhm.
that's inside of your DNA that has not come out yet.
Amen. I receive. Thank you.
So what is next for Talia? What is next, or do you know the next? Or are you just going to whatever path God creates? You just going to go down that path.
Little bit of everything. I it's a lot of that what you're saying now, God, when you make it clear to me, hey, that's what I'm doing. Outside of that, I have a lot of things that I'm developing. And in this industry, you never really know what's gonna hit, what's gonna be next. My only responsibility is to make sure I put it out there. So I actually just finished writing a movie that I believe in a lot. Um, and I actually started writing this movie in 2024. And so I picked it up, got a little bit done, and I left it, sat it down, picked it back up last year. And then this year it just felt time and I actually finished it.
Wow.
So I think even that has given me a lot of confidence with it, that it wasn't rushed. It's been a 2-year process. And I recently sent it to my manager. So I have a couple people reading it now, and my hope is that I can get a studio behind it so I can get this picked up and I can get this greenlit to actually shoot and take into production to direct. I think it's really good. The name of it is Loving You for Someone Else.
Wow. Wow.
And even that title alone, it gets me. I feel
Yeah.
like there's so many different interpretations you can have about that, but it's one of those stories for me that is honest. It deals a little bit with some of the things that I face in my life, but also I think it deals with the theme and the story of love and
Right.
God's intention for that, and just seeing how he uses all of us to be a reflection of him.
Right.
People you never would have thought You know, you never know what he's over here working on, but then we get to see how what he worked on over here meets something that was being worked on over there. And
Right.
so that's kind of like how the story unfolds. So I do know that's happening. I've been called on a lot to direct other people's stories. I want to start telling my own. I want to get in the game,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So
Right.
I want to write more. I want to develop a show where now I'm pitching and something gets picked up, you know, where I'm also spearheading the story that's being told
Right.
instead of being an interpreter of it and then
Right.
trying to execute it. So that's kind of where I feel I am now.
Well, praise the Lord, and just really appreciate you. I know God is going to continue to bless you. He's going to continue to open up the doors for you. So I'm just really excited about what God is going to do and where He's going to take you. And I certainly pray that I be alive to see those things that God has placed on the inside of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on the podcast today at 4 p.m. Normally we come on at 7, but I think I'm liking this 4 p.m.
Yeah.
So that may be something that we may be going to. Listen, we have been having a great conversation today with Tailiah Breon, producer, director, and so many other things, and just really appreciate her life and all those things that she's doing. She's really doing some great things. So we really, once again, appreciate you, and thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for having me. I look up to you. I watch you. I watch Aunt Dawn. I watch how you guys move. I watch what you guys say, what y'all don't say. I look at the posts, the statuses. So everything you're saying to me, it means so much because you are someone that I glean from, you know, and as I continue to live and learn and just have my own experiences, it's like you always grew up around people, and then it's like, now I understand things better. Now I get it. I get why Uncle Matt moves the way he does. Or
Wow.
why Aunt Dom moves the way that she does. I get, you know, it's so many things that you miss, and then you just keep growing and you just appreciate things and you see things that you didn't see before that were always there. So I definitely want to say that to you, you know.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So let's go before I think something is in my eye. So let's something wet is coming out of my eye. So let's go. Listen, guys, we really appreciate you today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Advancing the Kingdom podcast. Listen, if you're over on Facebook, go ahead and hit the share button. I would greatly appreciate that. And if you're over on YouTube, ML Tillery Outreach, go ahead and subscribe to the ML Tillery Outreach. I would greatly appreciate that. And to those of you that's listening by way of all of the podcast channels, we really appreciate you. Listen, until next Monday, I'm not sure whether it's going to be 4 or 7, but we will be back next Monday. Go and advance the kingdom.
We pray you have been empowered and blessed by this teaching. Join us next week for the Advancing the Kingdom podcast. If you would like to reach us, email us at mltillery@icloud.com.